The Phantom Planet in 3D. The Phantom Planet in 3D, as brought to us by the folks at iPop, www.ipop3d.com. The disc is in there now. This is one of their last complete full hands-on version. They do have some other 3Ds, and they're always doing other older films and stuff in 3D, but this is one of the last ones where they had complete hands-on through every frame. So this is one of their last premieres, I guess it would be. And if I'm wrong, go ahead and correct me, Andrew, out there at AI Pop. So what do you got here? This is a 1961 black and white sci-fi film. It's 1 hour and 22 minutes. Aspect ratio 1.78 to 1. The sound is 2-channel stereo, I believe. This is currently 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. 11%, that's it. 3.9 out of 10 on IMDb. It is directed by William Marshall, stars Francis Bushman, Dean Fredericks, the lovely Colleen Gray in here, Richard Kiel as the Solarite monster. He played the big guy in some of the James Bond films. Dolores Faith, the lovely Dolores Faith, is in here. So what do you got here? You got a sci-fi movie. It's supposed to take place in 1980, right? I mean, it's 1961. This is well into the future now, 1980, and we have a moon base, and we're sending rockets up, getting ready to go to Mars. But we lost 2 of them in a meteor belt, and we never heard from them again. And so finally, we have to send the best out to find out what's going on. And this guy's getting ready to go to Mars, and he says, "Man, I'm getting ready to go to Mars." He says, "If you don't find out what's going on, this phantom thing just shows up. We may never get to Mars." And so you got to get out there and find out what this is. Is it a space monster, some kind of phantom planet that comes up out of nowhere? And so they send him out there to there could be some spoilers here, folks. I know, 1961 movie, and I'm worried about giving you some spoilers, but that's just the way it is. They're going out there to see what's going on. You got all these instruments in the background, and you know, they're in the capsule and everything, and they're on their way out there, and they have a little meteor shower, and they got to get outside and fix their ship. And it's sprung a leak of something. They're out there on the wing, you know, and of course the spray's coming off to the side. Of course, the guy sticks his face right in there when they pop the latch and sprays him in his face, you know. Air hose gets cut. One guy drifts away from and he shuts the door on the last guy in there, and then he's off in space. And he gets pulled into this planet, the Phantom Planet. It gets down in there, and there's some really cool little things going on. There's some little guys running. It's like a lot of like Gulliver's Travels in a sense. It's a Gulliver Travels film. He gets up there. He's really big. Everybody else is small. But when he pops his helmet off or his visor up, he shrinks down to their size. And what they explain is, with that atmosphere and everything, everybody's small because they're living on a small planet and everything's small. There's some beautiful women on the planet. They form a jury, and there's also a couple other beautiful women that are available to be wives. This guy, they take him in and they tell him he can now be a member of the planet, but he's got other things in mind. He wants to get back home. And then they get attacked by the Solarites. They have a Solarite monster there, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Some things happen, and he's trying to get back, and he falls in love, and there's some love stuff going on here. It's a pretty cool black and white movie. Let me tell you about this though. Let me just say this. There's so much Star Trek here. So much Star Trek. I mean, even the bridge. I mean, when they're looking out this window, they're on this little planet, asteroid, and they're looking out this window, and they're sitting there, and it almost looks as if it's the bridge on Star Trek. It's pretty cool. I mean, I could see where they got it, and the music score is great. You know, when the action's happening, it's da 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 da. It's just like in Star Trek. There's a lot of scenes in here. There's where Kirk had fought one time, you know, and with a sword, and they're fighting in here too. You know, and then he's got to win the favor of one of the women, and the jury has to decide, and it's pretty cool. It really is. There's so much, I think, here of Star Trek and other, you know, future films like that. Like I said, the soundtrack was the sound score was good. How about the 3D now? Let's talk about the 3D. Let me tell you what, these iPop folks, man, it's just absolutely incredible what these guys can do. It really is. I mean, there's the scenes in here when you're in the space capsule, the dips in the space capsule. I mean, you feel like you're sitting in there, and all the instruments and the forward viewer and the aft viewer, and the way you see the space between them and everything. It's really cool. I really like that. They did a good job. When the rocket's taken off from the moon, some really good 3D effects there as it's taking off. You know, when it's coming up, it's coming right at you. You know, coming right at you. And then when it shoots out into space, you can see all the stars as far back as you could see. Great job on the 3D. Great job on the separation. Got meteors floating in towards the screen. There's one scene in here, though, where the monster's hand kind of comes out with 3 fingers. And it's blurry because the camera wasn't focused on it. But, boy, that sure would have made a good poke in the face there. A lot of good meteors, like I say, coming out on fire. A lot of good scenes, inside scenes. So the 3D is just fantastic. They did a wonderful job on the 3D. As far as the movie goes itself, you know, it's one of those popcorn Saturday rainy day. It reminds me when I used to, you know, back in the 60s, I grew up in Detroit, and I'd go over to my uncle's house, and then we'd pile out of the car. We'd pile out of that 66 Buick in the Detroit suburbs, you know, and go inside. Uncle Phil's laying on the couch, you know, and the TV's going black and white's on. He's snoring on the couch, and the Aunt Velma's in there cooking Italian meal. The coffee's going, and it's 1965 Detroit. Kids outside playing football, and I walk in the living room, and there's Uncle Phil on the couch, and there's this movie playing on the TV. You know, there's this Phantom Planet playing on the TV. You know, I mean, that's just what it brings back to me, those memories, childhood memories. But anyway, what I'm going to do with this. All right, so Phantom Planet, for a film, a sci-fi black and white film, I'm going to give it 2.5 out of 5 stars for the film itself. As far as the 3D goes, I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 for the 3D. These guys did a great job. It's such a pleasant 3D too. You're not going to get a headache. Your eyes aren't going to cross. I didn't see any mistakes in here at all. Not one thing sticking out that would distract me from not thinking that this was filmed in 3D. That's how good this is. All right. So leave some comments below and let me know if you'd seen this. Hit that like and subscribe button. I hope to have some more 3Ds coming out. I know I've been lax here lately, but you know, life goes on, and I hope to see you soon. I want you to have a good night. Stay safe. As always, God bless.